Well, hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? And today we are going to do a little bit of a review before we really get started on this leadership and duplication challenge for the next 90 days. And just sitting here listening to Eric Worre and talking about all the different challenges and things that we have as leaders, and going through and recruiting people, and really what it takes to bring people forward and lift them up and have them grow so your business can grow, right? And so, first off, I want to just talk to you about what is your leadership level? Like, define really like how many people have you recruited? Because I'm going to be honest with you. If you've only recruited 10 people or less, this is going to be a difficult challenge for you because who are you leading when you've only got just a few people underneath you? Right? And, you could sit and listen and go through all this stuff, and I think you should. I don't think you should not do this, but just know that it's gonna be a challenge for you because, um, who are you leading? And really, a lot of people quit, and they go through all this different, stuff, and, yeah, so define the level that you're at. So 1 to 10, if you recruited 10 people or less, you're at level 1. If you recruited 10 people to 100,000, you heard me. How many people do you have on your team? 100,000? Are you there yet? Hmm? And so that's level 2. And if you recruited over 100,000 people, then you're at level 3. And yes, that's $1 million mindset being at level 3. It's a whole nother game. But I'm going to be honest with you. Eric says that you are not going to have any real duplication success until you get to like 100,000 people on your team. You're going to be working and practicing, and it's really going to be a solo game, meaning you're going to be doing this as an individual sport. People come and go. People have the same level of interest or not the same level of interest. People are all over the place. Um, so if you have the ability to recruit, then this is going to be where you're going to be creating this pathway to be able to keep them on your team and keep them moving. So, the foundation of duplication is a rigid launch process. And so, as we go through this next 90 days, we're going to talk a lot about systems, procedures, mindset, and all these things like that that are going to help you move forward. The faster you can run and get through this, the better you're going to experience that duplication growth. So, like when you go to McDonald's, like the hamburger joint, fast food store. Now, I don't go there. I have in the past. But the question is, they have a lot of systems. You can go to one McDonald's store or a restaurant in one city and go to a restaurant in another city, and they have pretty much the same layout, the same thing going on. They have where do they cook the french fries? The french fries are usually cooked on the left-hand side. So, you look at all the different procedures and how things going. It's you can pretty much work at one store, you can work at another store. That is really what we're talking about as far as really creating a huge duplication process so that it's very seamless. Everybody's doing the same thing. I'm so thankful for our upline Natalie Goddard and her business builders where they went through and built like the business building guide. They built all these launching and building. These are the original ones, these original things. And look on the back. It has the charts that you can fill in. Um, to be a diamond. If you want to be a diamond, you'd fill in all these little things here. And who are your leaders? Who are your silver leaders? The success path, share the oil experience, invite them. This is a structure. This is a system. This is a system that she put together for us to be duplicating and creating leaders with. Now, this is the beginning one. It hasn't changed that much. I really personally like this page here where it shows you executive, elite, premier, silver, gold, platinum. It shows you all the ranks and what you need to have to achieve those ranks. And it also shows you the mindset that you want to be living a wellness lifestyle, sharing a health and hope, building strong connections, personal growth. So when you're trying to get to gold, building strong connections at the silver level. So I see some of my leaders stuck at the silver level and they're regrouping and really working hard on building those strong connections and those relationships. Um, Helping your team, your downline grow. It's not about you, it's about helping them grow. But you have to really understand that sometimes letting go of those people who are not serving you is really, really important. And I know that sounds so harsh. We have such kind hearts and, you know, but give them an opportunity. But a lot of times people just don't have the conversation or the ability to do what it takes to run a business. It's not for everybody. Network marketing is not for everybody. You recruit people and they become paralyzed, right? Like, oh, like they don't know what to do. I have one guy who's been with me for a long, long time, and he's never ever ordered or never ever enrolled somebody. And it's like, oh my gosh, what is that? And he keeps calling me wanting to build and wanting me to train him and wanting me to help him. That takes so much time and energy. And I'm going to be honest with you, you got to learn to let them go because they pull you back down in the swamp. And in that swamp, it gets noisy, it's stinky, it's murky, all the stuff going on. The only way you're going to really build your business is to get out of the swamp and get busy, get doing. And you lead by example, by recruiting, by teaching classes, being consistent, making things happen, and doing your mentor calls. And I have to look at some of my notes. Like Eric said something here too that was really pretty powerful. I agreed with him from my perspective, is that for many years, I got really good at adding people and subtracting people. People, I'd add them and then they would be subtracted. We are looking for duplication, timesing, making things multiply for us. I got tired of watching people walk across the stage at convention as they're ranking up to gold, to platinum, to diamond. And what's wrong with me? Like, not being able to rank up. Let me just tell you, there's nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with me. It's at the level of where we're at and experiencing things. And so that's where the accountability partners and the mentoring partners through this whole program are going to be really, really powerful. It's kind of a weird thing. It's like you can't do it alone, but you have to do it alone. So, what do I mean by that? When you need your downline to do stuff, but if they're not doing, you have to keep doing. You can't let them suck you down into that sewage, into that cesspool of lower vibration conversations. So, when you get to the point when people start joining your team and you don't even know how they joined or where they came from or what happened, that's when you start having the magic of where your leadership is working. That is where the gold is. That's where everything is going to start to happen. And unfortunately, that won't happen until you are able to get past the all the conversations that are going on in your head, being pulled down into the swamp, letting all these lower vibration conversations influence who you are. I've had people complain to me, "Where's my promotion? Where's my shipping? Where's this?" And I'm like, "Wait, are you a leader? You help us find the solution. The problem doesn't land on me, right? So when we're working as a true leader, I will take on and take responsibility of the problem and deal with it. And then pretty soon, you guys aren't dealing with any problems, right? So here's another example. Um, let's say one day your neighbor was not feeling well or something, and you were out mowing the lawn and you thought, oh, I got an extra little bit. I can go mow his lawn, take care of his yard for him. Just give me an hour and I'll just take care of it and be a nice neighbor. Yeah, that's a nice neighbor, right? And then he's still sick. So you go back there the next week, you mow the lawn again. And then pretty soon they start to expect it. And then the worst is that they get mad at you for not mowing the lawn when you decide you don't have time to do it. In a lot of ways, you being a really nice leader, that is what you're creating is a whole bunch of people demanding you to do the work for them. You have to learn to be able to let go of that and move forward because um, the story is here. You have to figure out duplication. You have to figure out leadership. You have to learn how to lead yourself. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. And leading yourself actually requires um, uh, accountability. It requires basically telling people um, the stronger your vision, you will attract more people to run with you. But you're not going to be pulling down into the sewage into that lower vibration because it's just a cesspool, right? So if you're out there doing the work and letting go of those people, they're going to go, oh, whoa, oh, she could do that, or I could do that. Maybe I could figure that out. You want them begging for information from you. You don't want to be calling them, wondering why they haven't done their LRP, all that kind of stuff. I've been talking quite a bit about an aha thing for me. And when you enroll somebody, it is so critical to have this critical conversation with them. And the word critical conversation, be like, oh, they're just brand new. I don't want to offend them or scare them away. Right? That it's so empowering to go to them and say, "Oh, welcome to doTERRA. We're so excited to have you as part of the family, and you've made the right decision for your wellness journey. And there will be lots of questions, lots of training. So stick on, come to the trainings. You're going to want to do that." And I want to have a really serious conversation with you. When we were talking, you had mentioned something about wanting to do the business. What does that look like to you? 2 hours a week, 5 hours a week, 20 hours a week? How do you want to be mentored? What's important to you? What is that? Because it's going to be important for me to know where to place you on my team to be able to effectively serve you best. I have this gold in real estate on my top line, and that is where only powerful leaders are going to be. That is where people who run with me really want to do the business and really want to grow to be as big as they can go. Now, I know we all have limited thoughts and beliefs, but a lot of times people don't even want to go past just ordering enough or making enough money to pay for the order. And it's not their fault. So you need to decide and really take a serious look at if this is a business for you, you know? So having that conversation with people will really help open up that expectations. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. The more confident you'll be, um, the more open, the more attractive you'll be. You'll have more people wanting to be with you. If you leave them behind, you will have people who will blame you for their failures. They'll blame you for this. They will blame the product. If you are one of those that are blaming, oh, the product didn't work or the shipment didn't happen or all those things like that, you are never going to grow. You need to learn how to develop your leadership mindset on how to solve problems. So there is hope. You want to figure out how to recruit, figure out how to do leadership, how to lead yourself, how to lead others. Um, what is your responsibility? What is their responsibility? How to get to six figures. And duplication only begins after six figures. And I've seen that too, like with Matt Hall, um, where he's had um, a lot of struggles and a lot of stuff. And then all of a sudden, he just was shocked where his team blew up. Like just totally all of a sudden he started getting all these recruits. And when you start having like 20 double diamonds, 20 presidential diamonds on your team, duplication stuff does happen, right? 20,000 recruitments a month on your team. And when we're talking right now about did you do 10 recruits? Did you do 20 recruits? So um, now during this course, we're going to go through and work on that mindset on how to get from 10 recruits to 100,000. And then what is it like to be at the 100,000 level? And then we're going to develop systems. There's about 12 of them. First one is customer acquisition system. The second system you're going to develop is customer retention system. The third one is distributor acquisition, then distributor retention. Then you're going to look at skill based training systems. Yeah, like how to teach the class, how to do a wellness consult, how to place an order, all these kinds of systems. It could be a checklist, it could be all those things. Skill-based, training systems, I just said that. Launch systems, how you're gonna help people launch their business. Then you're gonna have communication systems, such as how to communicate with your organization, as it becomes bigger. Now, in India, it's actually pretty easy, actually, but it's interesting how people aren't doing it. United States, we all speak pretty much English, and so people don't want to have their own pocket of information or be responsible for that information. It's really bizarre. In India, you have your own languages, like with every state, like being able to talk different languages in each state. But then, do you limit yourself with your group for that state or that language? So it's really important to think through all the different levels and ways your systems can work for communication, for bringing on new customers, bringing on new builders, and so on. You're going to have a recognition system. How do you recognize people? And so, what I try to do is every month we'll go through and post all the people who moved ranks, all the new customers, all the new enrollments, that kind of thing. Number nine, you're going to have an event promotion system. Number 10, leadership identification system. Number 11, a mentorship and duplication system. And there's one more, and we're not remembering what it is right now, but as we go through this in the next 90 days, you're going to be thinking about all the different systems that you're going to want to be putting in place. Talk to your downline. Let's get these things going so that we can really move forward. Set the framework. Our job as a leader is to get to that 100,000 volume a month. Wouldn't that be awesome? Easy to do. People are doing it. Matt Hall does it, right? Natalie Goddard does it. So being able to develop those teams and really build wildly is really where it's at. The ultimate job as a leader is to get everyone in our community to do just a little bit more than they would have without you, right? Just a little bit more. And if you could keep touching people, making sure they're getting their LRP orders done, learning about new products and stuff, that's really important. There's really only two ranks inside your business. The first is you started out as a distributor or a consultant, and then the next rank is the one where you're at. All the ranks in between are just milestones, but really you can only think of those two. So um, create a map on how you're going to get to with the level of ambition that you are. And let me say, I'm sure that people in India, it's foundership, and maybe everybody in the world is probably blue diamond or presidential diamond or double presidential diamond. What level are you willing to play at? How many people on your team is it to get them to the highest level? So write that out, chart that out, and if you have a choice, release them and go. Yeah, remember what I just talked about. This is a solo type company where you need to get them as independent of you as soon as possible. I, I've been guilty of saying, let's skip down the yellow brick road together and let's go kumbaya and have all this fun together. And really, in business world, we need to get down to business and get this working for you. Helping other people is actually not helping. It's actually back to the mowing the lawn. You're just going to be expected to do it for them, and then you're stuck. You're back in the sewage. So this next 90 days, we're going to be talking about all this amazing stuff, how to get out of the mud. We're going to be talking about bigger levels. And remember, when you are at a bigger level, there's bigger devils up there, more problems to deal with. And so you need to get thicker skin. You need to be able to run with that, not let that hook you and throw you back down in the sewage. So I had made a decision when I started building in India. And that decision was to find how I could be the best that I can be. And yeah, I had some people in the United States not like it. Actually feel like that I left them behind. And in fact, I didn't. I was trying to do Zoom calls that they never showed up on. I invited them to my house they never showed up to. I mean, yeah, the pandemic was troubling, right? A lot of people were afraid to do things in person, but how many excuses are you going to allow people to drag you down and hold you in the mud? And so you really need to be able to define what you're willing to do. And I told myself my decision was is I'm going to outlast everyone. I'm going to make it. I'm going to be a global leader and I'm going to have thousands upon thousands joining every month. And I'm going to work with the willing and I'm going to become a better version of myself every day. I'm just warming up. I'm just warming up, folks. Um, you bet. We're going to be founders in India, and we're also going to be founders in another country too. And we're going to have training courses and a whole bunch of stuff in front of us. I'm just getting started. You have no idea. And so I hope in the next 20 years, you'll see amazing things come out of what we're up to. And that I hope that we helped you become bigger than you know yourself to be and to really take on this training. So create your vision, you guys. Buckle up. Today's just the what this is, and so tomorrow we're going to go ahead and unleash day 3. As some of these days we skip days because it lands on a weekend, but that's when you're going to do some catch up, making sure you're doing all your homework. And to be a leader, you should be taking my videos, recreating them in your language, and posting them, sharing them with your downline. So awesome, you guys. All in on oils. Glad to have you here with us. And give me a thumbs up on that. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.